No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. The first thing I notice is that these guards don't move. Once they're in place, they stay there. I can tackle, sprint, or slide without adjusting them. You feel secure and locked in. My first impressions of the GOATS guards, honestly, super light and super clean. Straight away, you can tell they're built to move with you. No bulk, just sleek protection that actually feels pro. These guards don't move. The first thing I notice is that these guards don't move. Once they're in place, they stay there. I can tackle, sprint, or slide without adjusting them. You feel secure and locked in. No bulk, just sleek protection that actually feels pro. My first impressions of the GOATS guards, honestly, super light and super clean. Straight away, you can tell they're built to move with you.
Hi everyone, happy Thursday. I hope you're all well. I'm so pumped to bring this session to you. So big thank you for joining us. Again, if you're joining us on the live, can you please make sure you subscribe below within YouTube as a subscriber, and it's going to enable you to be able to ask questions. Also, if you want to ask some questions, guys, can you please drop in the questions below. Now, we are going to cover off two subjects, two topics today, two coaching topics. So these coaching topics aim for players who want to learn more, they want to understand tactics a bit more. But also these are great for parent coaches or volunteer coaches who want to learn the structure on how to set up a particular session and how to run one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move into our screen control, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this on for us, so hopefully you guys will be able to see everything in a few seconds and it'll all come across. So what we're going to do is very quickly, again, we're just going to update you a little bit within our school platform on where we're sitting. So this time last week we were currently third in sport, which means we're still third, and we are the #1 soccer provider and football provider on the planet. What this means is there is 22 million customers across school on the platform, which you're one of our members. So 22 million members on school. There's 210,000 communities, of which there's about 30,000 sports communities, and of which there's 15,000 football or soccer communities. We are the #1 on school in soccer, and we are the #3 overall in sport. We were positioned overall last week, I think we were 39, and I'm just going to have a little look to see if we've moved up. So great news is we're currently 33rd, and again, this is all thanks to you guys. So every single time you are liking posts, you are posting in the community, you're doing replies, you're doing video replies. I've sent a heap of prizes out this week in Champions League balls. I'm not sure if anyone's got them yet, but if you have, can you post it in the community for me and show them off to everyone? But don't just take a picture, take a little short video for me and show me your Champions League ball that you've got. So hopefully most of you would have got them prizes by today. If not, they should be with you by tomorrow at the latest. Now, one of the big things I wanted to point you to as well, you will notice within Classroom, and if we go to Dugout, number 10, you will notice now we've always had Premier League sessions in here. So these are sessions that we've gone and completed with Premier League clubs and Category 1 clubs in England. And these sessions go for anything from 2 to 5 minutes in duration. But what you'll start to notice is we've actually designed these to help with those volunteer coaches. So I'll show you what we've done is, so if you click into Premier League sessions, let's say the top one, attacking wide areas, it's a 2-minute video and it'll show you a little bit of the setup of the session, but it's really hard for some people to get a gauge on what's happening. If we go into Premier League Coach the Coaches, I've actually put the attacking and wide areas video here, but what I've done is I've done a whiteboard session. So if we hit play on this, it will take you through the session on a whiteboard. This is a great initiative that we've launched to help those parents who maybe want to run some sessions themselves, but also for those volunteer coaches who are working in the club system around the world, and also for those qualified and paid coaches as well, because we don't all have time to plan sessions. So what you're going to see is we've got in the first two, attacking in wide areas and possession and transition. So we've got 2 in. As you can see, we've got probably in the region of about 20 more videos to do. So by the end of March, when you go into the Coach to Coach sessions, you will actually see all of the sessions will be in there. So if you actually want to sit down, watch it on the whiteboard, listen to me, and if you've got any questions on any of the sessions as well, remember, you can always drop it in the community and say, hey Ray, I've watched the video on attacking in wide areas, I've got this question. And I'll post a video back to you or an answer back to you. So it's a great initiative that we've started. So it's going to build on top of that. For all the coaches as ever, you've got all the age groups in here. So let's say your son and daughter's in 10 to 12s, and there's a heap of sessions being dropped in here again as well. And again, what we will do is we will work through all of this eventually. So we will have a mirrored session. So you'll have fun games and challenges, which will be the video here, and then we'll have a video below which will be me whiteboarding, showing you how to set up. So by the time we get to April, May, this is going to be the best football dugout for volunteer coaches and coaches on the planet. And we're super excited to bring that to you. Back into the community, one other thing I just want to raise as well. We did do a great post today. This was from the other day, but we put a post in about one player who's on the project that we worked with in the Premier League, and he's just signed for Barcelona. So if you get a chance today or tomorrow, have a little look. It's a 12-minute video and it is a great video. And if you're an aspiring player who wants to play at the top level, this would be an amazing one for you to look at. So a big thank you for that one. Now, without further ado, we're going to go into the classroom. We're going to go back into the dugout, and we are going to look at our Premier League sessions, and we're going to look at pass, turn and move. And this is at Queen's Park Rangers, who are in that Premier League category academy system. And we're going to showcase this short video to you. So I want you to all get a pen and paper, make some notes. I'm going to play the video through, and then I am going to do some coaching points on this as we walk through as well, and show you exactly what they were doing. So within this particular session, we're looking for movements and we're looking for fast feet. We're also looking for transition within our positions. So the coach is just speaking to the players about a variation within here. So we're looking for players to spin off the cone. We're also looking for players to be scanning and setting the ball and looking to attack into space.
I'll show you this side. I set it in there, you put it there. I move, yes, bounce, and then play. Now, here's your faster. I don't mind taking the back.
The coach is talking to Matt. He doesn't necessarily always need it on one touch. He's happy for players to take this variation on 2 touches if needed, but also he's enforcing with this older group about the importance of communication. You can probably hear on the camera the communication going on, but not only there's communication verbally, there's actually a lot of visual communication going on, as well as a lot of hand signals being reinforced by the coach. This is a great session just as an activation, just to get a little bit of passing and movement going, but also just to allow players to start transitioning from one side to the next. So that's a very short session in there, and I'm going to just whiteboard this session for you. So I'm going to get straight into the whiteboard, and we're going to talk about why this one is a really important one. And this particular session, again, this could be done with most age groups, and you can adjust it with the amount of touches, and also you can adjust it by adding in speed and working on time. And I'm just going to show you how we could do that. So just bear with me while I just connect up my screen. Okay, so one of the things that we're trying to focus on within here, you're seeing within the setup, we had a cone there, a cone there, cone there, and we had a player. We'll mark the players as X's on each cone. Okay, now what we seen was we had a player with the ball there. And the idea was this player would play the ball in, this player would look to turn, and then they would look to play either this player here or this player there. So they were the options that they were looking for. Then the next thing that happens was this particular player here then moved to here. This player moved sideways. This player in the middle moved to there. This player moved to there, and then this player moved all the way across to there. But the big focus point that we want you to really pay attention to, and the attention is in the detail. And what we're actually looking for within here is we want to make sure that players are able to pass the ball with enough weight on the pass. So we're trying to form habits. And how do we form habits? Habits could be good things, they could be bad things as well. A habit is something that is done consistently over time and is repeated, and it becomes a habit, okay? So one of the things that we want to make sure is happening in this session is weight on the pass. Why is weight important? Because we want the ball to get there. We don't want it to not get there. So when this player is drilling the ball in there, we want lots of weight on the pass, okay? The next thing is we want this person scanning. And you've got to reiterate, everyone should be scanning, but more so this person in the middle. That is their job. They should be scanning before they receive the ball, after they've received the ball, and when they've released the ball. So this is the key part that we should be looking for, and it's got to happen over both shoulders, okay? I'm sick and tired of seeing players thinking because they scan over one shoulder, that's enough. It's not. Okay, both shoulders is a requirement. Then, from this player, let's call this player 1. This is player 2, player 3, player 4, player 5. Player 1 needs to communicate. Now, when we talk about communicate, we're talking about simple communication. And a simple communication, and you've got to agree this with your team, with your players. Turn, no turn. It is that simple, okay? So that player should be saying turn or no turn. Now, regardless if there's no defender in here defending against this player, they should be communicating that. And this player 1 should be mixing up that communication. Some should say turn, some should say no turn. So as they play that ball, if number 1 says no turn, number 2 should bounce the ball back to number 1 and then still make the way here. And then number 1 will then drill the ball into this side to play it back in. Okay? And the final piece we're looking for is fast movement. And what we mean by fast movement, it's movement off the ball into your new space, and we expect the movement to be short and sharp. Now, admittedly, if you do this with a group of 8-year-olds, it probably will look very messy and it won't look very good and it'll look very disorganized. Okay, if you do this with an older group, it might be a little bit easy. So what I'm going to give you is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a variance. I'm going to taper it back to the younger ones. Okay, now with the younger ones to begin with, between player 1 and 5 here, they could have a ball between them and all they're doing is passing and receiving. 3 and 4 could have a ball and all they're doing is passing and receiving amongst themselves. Player 2 could have a ball and they're just doing juggling. And you do that for 1 minute and then you call a rotation. And they all rotate positions. 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3. Okay? What that's going to build up is, it's going to build up passing. And it's going to build up receiving, which is an important part of the bigger drill. So what we've done by doing this is, we've actually isolated the drill. And we've pulled it to what we call a micro level, to make it easy for the players. Now, if your younger players start to get successful with that, and then you go back into the main part of the session and it still looks really scrappy and it doesn't look good, well, this is what you could do. You could get 1 working with 2, with 3. So the pass now is a lot longer, and they're just passing and receiving over a longer distance. 4 and 5 are passing and receiving over a longer distance. And number 2 is still juggling, or keepy-uppies, whatever we call it. Okay? Then again, you can then isolate it into this section, and then you can pull it back out, back to the normal way of going. So that's a good way to look at it for your younger age groups. If you find that they struggle and you want to isolate it and give them a chance to get better, because you might find that the passing, the receiving's not going well. So it's pointless doing this if they can't pass and receive properly. But also remember, we don't want this to look perfect and it looks amazing, because that means development's not happening. We want it to look a little bit messy. And remember, we focus on this 40-60 rule. Okay? We want to be in that 40% of success, and we want to be 60% fail, and that's where development happens. Okay? So if we're talking about our younger ones, we want to be enforcing that the passing's good, receiving's good, and the final thing is, we want to encourage scanning. Okay? So before player 3 receives the ball from player 1, we want to see scanning. Both shoulders. And if it's not happening, that's your moment to step in and just speak with player 3 and player 1. Leave player 2 to do what they're doing and leave player 4 and 5 leave them. If they're doing it right, don't stop the whole session. And this is my pet hate with coaches. They will stop the whole session to make a point because one group's not doing it right, okay? Now, if all of them are not doing it right, then obviously we need to speak with all of them. But again, it's in. If it takes you longer than 20 seconds to explain, okay, what you're looking for, then we've got a problem. If you know scanning's not happening, stop, stand still. Okay, number 3, I need to see you scanning over both shoulders before you receive the ball. Every time you receive the ball and you don't scan, I'm going to take a point off you. Every time you scan on both shoulders and you receive the ball, I'm going to give you 5 points. Play. It's that quick. It's short and sharp and concise. Do not go into a 6-minute whiteboard session on scanning. Okay? It doesn't work regardless of the age group that you're working with. Now, if we're looking at older age groups, we want to obviously encourage pass and receiving, but they should be givens with the older age groups. Okay, we shouldn't need to isolate them, but what we need to do is challenge the older age groups. So what we can add in here is a mini goal. Okay, we got our mini goal in there. And we can add in a defender, and a defender. Okay, so we've got 5 versus 3. Now, what you would do is, to begin with, you would start it the way we showed you at the beginning. But then to take it up a level, you would go 5v3. And this is what you say. You say to the X's, so the teams 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, you say to them players, if you can make a complete set all the way around, so 1 plays to 2, 2 plays to 3 to 4, all the way back into 5, then they're then allowed to then have a shot at the goal. Okay, and they've only got 10 seconds to score. If the defenders win the ball at any point, they're allowed to have a shot at goal, but again, they've only got 10 seconds to score a goal, and it's open play. What will start to happen is the movements will start to happen like a proper central midfielder in here, and we will start to see players under pressure when they're trying to pass, turn and move. And this is a great way to take it up a level. So I think what you're seeing here again is the power of this session that you've just seen at QPR, which we showed you on this screen, okay? I think we've just shown you that it doesn't matter the age group, because if you follow this particular session, pass, turn and move, now you've watched this video with me, you're going to be able to, what we call, sort of lower it down to the skill set of a 7 or 8 year old group, or you can actually take it up a level to a senior men's or women's open squad. Would this be a drill that teams like Barcelona or Real Madrid men's team would do? 100%. Of course they would. But it's having the knowledge and the skill set to be able to make it simple for the younger age groups or the ones with less ability, or to take it up a level depending on who you're coaching in the age group. I hope you enjoyed that one. That is an amazing little session. If you did enjoy it, drop it in the comments for me if you're watching it on the live. And we will be back with our next little mini subject that we're going to cover in our next video. I am just going to come back onto the live screen quickly. As ever, guys, we are going to go to a very short break. If you don't have a pen and a piece of paper and you're not making notes, you've got 2 minutes. Get yourself a pen and paper, make some notes, okay? Drop some comments in for me as well. Did you like this session? What did you learn about it? And then also don't forget to drop in any questions. We're going to have a quick ad break and we will be back in 2 minutes with our next
Don't bunch
mini
up,
coaching
you don't get
series.
20. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Goats grips, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the Goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide, nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time, and these are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around the shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material's soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So I hope you got your pen, your notepad ready for your next little mini coaching session. I've had a couple of questions and I think I got one from Shooty in relation to an issue with his GPS tracker recording incorrect data. Shooty, drop me a DM on that one, but basically you need to drop a message into StatSports. Any issues with the hardware or any problems with them, StatSports are 99% of the time pretty good at getting back and they'll help you. They've got a full support line. What I will show you is, Shooty, actually when I go back onto our screen control here, if you type in, I think GPS, it should come up with a post which will give you hopefully I had one on here, but maybe it's gone down in the group. I was hoping that I put one in about the support, but what I'll get you to do is, Shooty, just drop me a message anyway and I'll share it to you. But there is a post in here about the GPS StatSport support. I'm pretty sure there is one. Yeah, drop me a DM, Shooty, and I'll find it for you. But there is definitely a post on here, and I'll share the. There you go. So if you type in just StatSport and then click on Community, you'll see StatSport Help. There's all the email addresses, and I believe there's a phone number on there as well, so you can drop them an email. All you need to do is give them your serial number on your GPS tracker, and they'll check it that it's in warranty, and then they'll help you with what the issue is, if it's a hardware issue. If it's a software issue, probably email to academy@statsports.com first, tell them what your problem is, and they'll get back to you within 24 hours normally. I hope that helps you, Shooty. Thank you for the DM. So what we're going to do is now we're going to move back into classroom, go back into our dugout. And our next session, you're going to love this one, and this one goes for 2 minutes and 50, is possession, transition and overload. And again, these can be done for players 7 and 8 years of age, all the way up to open men's and women. Enjoy this little short video. So the game that you can see, and I'll just explain a little bit about the setup. So we've got a player in black who's in this end zone here, and he's receiving the ball and sending the ball. Also, we've got another player in an end zone here as well, and the cones are marked up exactly the same. So again, we'll just give you a little bit of a setup here. We've got a player in black here, and he receives the ball and he sends the ball. So the idea of this game is we've got two teams, a team in red and a team in blue. The players in black who receive the ball on the outside of the pitch, if they receive it from a red, they give it back to a red. If they receive it from a blue, they send it back to a blue. The idea is we're looking for the teams in red and blue to work on possession, 1 and 2 touch passing, and we're looking for that transition from one side of the pitch to the next side of the pitch. We're not really encouraging in here too much individual or 1v1 skills. We're not really encouraging players to take players on. Now the coach is currently talking to them about how we actually create space. So what he's looking for is when players pass a ball, they're looking for the player to move into a new space. And if a defender gets touched tight to them, then we're looking for that player to then look for a new space to move into. So again, the players in black are our out players on the outside, and if they receive from a red, they send it back to a red. If they receive from a blue, they send it back to a blue. Some of the things that we're looking for in here is 1 and 2 touch football, possession. We're looking for players to scan and have heads up, but also what we're looking for is fast movement of the ball from side to side. Let's see how this plays out over the next 60 seconds. So blues are starting. So good transition, the Blues are winning 2-0. So every time they get into an end zone, they get 1 point. So that's 3 points to Blue. Okay, so hopefully you got a little bit from that small session. So what I'm going to do is, again, I will drop back out into my whiteboard and I'm going to walk you through on this particular session and give you a little bit more detail. So one of the big things that we're looking for again is possession, transition, and then I think for me final part is that communication, okay? Now at the bottom down here you'll see that we've got our square set up. You can really mix up your dimensions for this. You could do it in a square, you could do it in a rectangle, you could put them in tight spaces or big spaces. Now one of the things I would give you as a bit of advice, and this is probably the best bit of advice I could give you. If you're doing this in a really small, tight square or rectangle, whatever you set up, it's likely to be harder. So maybe if you've got a group of under 18s, you'll put them in a tighter space. If you've got a younger group, I would encourage you to put it in a larger space. So the players with less ability or age, a larger space, which means they've got more time on the ball and more space to get in. Players with more ability or are in an older age group, a smaller space. And what you find is by taking away space from players, it makes it so much harder. Now, regardless, then you're seeing in there was a little bit of success, there was a little bit of failure, and I think when I look at that, there was 40% success and 60% failure. And for me, this is great because this is exactly where we want for development. So they got 40% success, 60% failure. Now, some of the key things that we're looking for in this session is the obvious one, which should always be in there, is scanning. So we want to make sure if you're a red or a blue player, scanning is a no-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. It should be happening, okay? The next thing that we should be looking for is when we receive and when we send the ball, we want a confident touch. And what does a confident touch mean? It means power on the ball, okay? The next thing we're looking for is playing the ball fast and moving fast, okay? And one of the big keys for this is communication. Now, who are we looking for communication from? Well, the players in black, because they're on the outside. They are a floating player. They play for both teams. Whoever's in possession, blue or red, they work for that team. So we want to hear communication from the black. Play me. I'm open. I'm free. Okay. Also, do we want the blacks just to stay where they are? No. We want them to have sides with movements. Same here. Sides with movements. Now, what I noticed in that video that I just showed you, the players on the outside weren't moving at all. So that could be a big thing that you can speak about to your players on the outside is movements. Players on the inside, okay, we're assuming that they're scanning and they've received the ball. We want everything on 1 or 2 touch max. Okay, and the best thing you can speak to your players about is ask them this one question. What moves faster? The ball or the player? And hopefully they answer the ball. And once players understand that, they will use the ball and move the ball fast and quickly because it's the best way. What we want to outlaw in this session, okay, one of the things we want to outlaw is no 1v1 and no dribbling with the ball. Because this is not the topic of the session. Remember, the topic is possession, transition and communication. We want to see those things happening. Now, if you've got an older age group or a stronger group, what you might do is, and this is where the fun gets to start happening, you can get your players to follow the passes. So what you might do is, you might set it up so it's blacks and blues versus reds, and you might just play for 1 minute. Now, if a blue plays the ball to the black, they've got to follow the pass out, and the black's got to dribble the ball in before they can make a pass to anyone on the inside, okay? And it can constantly keep rotating. And as a challenge again, you could then add in, if you wanted to, you could remove this player and add this black player into the middle. And we can add a goal here. And we can set a rule that the black and blues, if you get 5 consecutive passes, you're then allowed to shoot on goal. So there's a couple of ways you can up the ante on this and to make it not only more fun, but more challenging and giving them a goal to aim for. Okay, so there's some of the things that I want you to really think about. So again, we want you to focus on scanning, receiving and sending, confident touch, which means power on the ball. Communication should be coming from all the players, but more so from the players on the outside. The players in the black bibs, the black players, they need to be communicating and asking for the ball and moving side to side, up and down, okay? Also, that final bit of advice, if you've got groups who are really successful in this and they're killing it, add in a smaller space, take away some of the space, or add in more players in the square. Players of less ability or younger age groups, give them a larger space, okay? Also, what you could do is, for the younger age groups and you're not seeing any success, you can actually say to the players in the middle, so if we've got the Reds in possession, the Black are only allowed to apply, the Blues here are only allowed to apply pressure. They can intercept passes, they can try and block passes, but they can't tackle. So what that does is it still has pressure for the players in red, but it means they know they're not going to be tackled. And for the Blues, they can add pressure to try and force a mistake. Now, indirectly, this actually teaches one of the best defending principles as well. And that principle is not to jump in and to stay on your feet and not look to try and win the ball other than forcing pressure and forcing errors. So hopefully you enjoyed that one on possession, transition and communication. And again, what we will do is for this particular one, this will be dropped in within our school platform. So what you'll find is when you go into the Premier League Coach to Coaches, they will populate there over the next couple of weeks. We hope you enjoyed that one. We are going to go back into our live screen. And what I'm going to ask everyone to do is, I've noticed we've got no questions in there. We are going to go to a short break. Get yourselves a very quick drink. I have got one other thing to speak about very quickly. And I'm hoping that you've dropped in some questions for me to answer. If not, we may end the call a little bit early this evening. And we'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday. So we're going to go to this very quick short ad break, and we'll see you when we get back.
Don't bunch up, you don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Goats grips, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.
These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling. I used to wear bulky guards that slip down every game. These stay in place the whole time.
These shin pads are stretchy, durable, definitely not be ripping anytime soon.
Switch the Goat sleeves now. They don't slip, they don't slide. Nice and snug, nice and tight.
It's crazy how light these things are. I've worn a lot of old school pads in my time. In these, are featherweight and super comfortable.
Legend begins where heroes end.
Why are you still wearing those old clunky shin pads when you could be wearing these?
I used to struggle with shin guards sliding all game. These are a game changer. Put them on, you don't even notice them. They're comfortable, keep you going until finish.
It shows how fast you move on the pitch because it's stuck to the shin bone and does not slip and slide all around your shin.
No distractions, no readjusting, just focus on the match. What I like about these is you can wear them all day. Training, recovery, travel, they never lose shape. The material is soft and supportive. It's the perfect mix of comfort and performance. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there. These guards are so lightweight, you forget they're even there, but they still give solid protection. It's like full freedom to play a game without that clunky feeling.
Everyone, welcome back. So I'm just going to cover off a little quick short video within the school platform, and then hopefully we've got a couple of questions dropped in. But as I say, if there's no questions coming in, guys, and you've learnt enough tonight, we will let you go a little bit early. You can have an early mark, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you on our next call. But I'm just going to drop back into our school platform just over here, and we just got a little short video, and I've just realised it's just dropped in, so we'll show you this little video.
Specs for the ball right, they're off today. I like the colours, it looks cool. and it's small, so I can get better at juggling once I'm back from my injury.
Amazing. So a big thank you to our friend Mr. Vele for sharing his Champions League ball. Now, we did have a competition on, and the competition was to win an EPL ball, but we've actually had issues getting the balls in, and I'm still waiting for those particular balls to come in. But we've managed through UEFA, and we've managed to get through our partners at Rebel Sport to get some size 1 Champions League balls. Now, we're going to give more of these away. We're going to run another competition on Saturday, and we're going to try and give 5 of these balls away every week with the hope that everyone wins one at some point this year. Now, if you are excelling with your juggling, okay, now there's a lot of yous, not a lot of yous, but there's a few players who've completed stage 10 on the left leg and stage 10 on the right leg. Now, my next challenge for you is, once you've completed stage 10 on both legs with a normal ball, I want you to then try it with our Champions League size 1 ball, or you can just purchase your own size 1 ball, and we want you to try and go back through your levels with a size 1 ball. And I'm just going to put a little message in here to say thank you for the video. Thanks for that, Josh. Amazing video. So this is what we're looking for you to do. So if you've completed stage 10 on both sides, we're looking for you to go all the way back to the start, pick up a size 1 ball. Now, these balls are quite expensive for a size 1 ball. They cost about $25 with postage. It's about $40 to $45. You can pick up, I know in Brisbane in Australia, we've got a company called Heart Sports, and you can get them for like $5, okay? So you don't need to spend $40 on a Champions League ball. But yeah, enjoy that one, Josh, and the guys who've won them. We are hoping the EPL balls are going to arrive soon, but we're waiting for our delivery group, which is DHL, to confirm where they are, because it seems like they're lost in transition across. But we hope you enjoy the mini Champions League balls, and what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for some videos from the players who've got them to show us how easy or hard it is doing your levels and doing your juggling challenge, and it's going to be really interesting to see how you guys are getting on with that. So a big thank you for everyone for that. Now I'm going to just drop back into the live screen. I'm just going to have a little look just to see if there is any other questions on here. Now, we haven't got any other questions. If I don't see one drop in the next sort of 30 seconds or so, we are going to end the call, and we look forward to seeing you on our next call on Saturday. Remember, guys, if you send me questions into the community, I can run them. Now, I know we've covered a lot over the last year or two, and for those guys who've been with me for nearly 2-3 years, you're getting that much content, that much education, it's hard to pluck out questions. If you're happy going along, what I might do is, for the next session, if there's not many questions coming in, I might actually run 3 online coaching sessions where we cover 3 different topics or sessions, which will give you a bit more content to digest. But hopefully you enjoyed them today, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone juggling the ball with a size 1. So if you don't own a size 1 ball and you want to run out and get yourself one, you can pick them up for $5 to $10. They're very inexpensive. If you want a Champions League ball, our partners at UEFA have got them stocked at Rebel Sport, and you can order them online. With delivery, they cost you about $40 if you can afford that. If not, pick up a cheaper one. It'll do the same job, and I'm really excited to see how you can juggle with a size 1 football or soccer ball. So that's me, guys, over and out. There's no more questions come in. I look forward to seeing you on our next live call on Saturday, and then we've got our podcast Sunday coming up with an amazing podcast, so watch this space. I'll finish off with this short ad, guys.
You don't bunch up, you don't get sweaty. Simple as that.
One of the things I noticed about my Goats grip socks is the grip runs across the whole panel, so there's no bunching or sliding in your boots.
These grip pads will help you not slip when you're going in for a tackle.
My old socks will get sweaty halfway through the game. Not with Goats grips, they stay cool and dry from start to finish.